Hey again, just out here, a beautiful Texas evening. Wanted to go over kind of my past year of life here and things that I've been going through. It could be relatable, could help me through this situation a little bit by reaching the right folks. And plus, haven't been in Longview in a while, so just wanted to kind of give folks a way to see why I'm here and things of that nature. So, basically, about a year ago, things came to a head with a couple people, that I've been dealing with. One of which is my mom and her husband Wayne Shackley. Ongoing issues. The guy's extremely paranoid, heavy drug use, things of that nature. And my mom and him, it's been ongoing deal. They get psychotic. I'm not sure if my mom uses drugs as well, but she gets drunk, gets crazy, and long story short on that, I had a altercation to where my daughter was in a vehicle, Shelby was driving, and I was in the passenger seat there. They were taking me down to a tire shop. Shelby didn't want to, trade out in the driver position, so I let her drive. It was from my grandparents' house, conjoined on an easement of public road to it crosses by their home there. So we were driving through there. My mom came out erratic, crazy, screaming, just all psychotic, going nuts, and she wouldn't get off the vehicle. I told her to get off the vehicle, get away from the vehicle. I didn't want my daughter hearing all that, so I shoved her on the ground. Her husband came up and tried to swipe my legs out from under me. We got in an altercation. I tried to restrain him. Long story short, I hit him a couple times to get him away, and Shelby stayed in the area. Didn't drive off. I was hoping she would. Got back in the vehicle. Finally, we drove off, and it was kind of strange. First thing Ember said out of her mouth, she looked right at her mom and said, "I don't like you anymore." And I don't either. I don't like her anymore either. But dealing with that, and right before that, I had been falsely accused on hitting a guy. We were swinging a baseball bat at a guy and got put in a psych ward. I had it to my side. The guy carries firearms. They had been very rude to me regarding territorial and strange, very overly protective of that area on the mountain, as if, I don't know if they were hiding something or what was going on. He claims he's been hiding for a while from illegal organizations of some kind. So dealing with that, my daughter's been around all that bullshit. Law enforcement there doesn't seem to give a fuck. I actually filed a police report on him, the Wayne Shackley, right before they got me picked up on and put in a psych ward. So that was kind of out of retaliation. They falsified information to get me put in a psych ward, then falsified information to get me put in jail. I was getting ready to pack up and head out. I'd temporarily been staying in my grandparents' house, which was down the road from my parents' house on that same easement public road there. And it was a little while later, and I was packing up my clothes and things of that nature. Ember and I had been building out a tiny house. We were getting ready to travel around and kind of relocate and heading down different directions and getting stabilized and, continuing work I'd been doing, landscaping and things of that nature. So long story short there, I had clothes out there on the deck. I had my shotgun up there, and I told Shelby, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna put some earmuffs on her and fire a shot," because she hadn't been around guns that had been firing. So I wanted to take that opportunity to show her what a gun was, and that there's safety precautions to stay away from them, things of that nature. So she's around a lot of people with firearms, her friends, dads, and things that they have firearms. And if some kid pulls one out and starts playing with it, letting her know to stay away and go find somebody if she can. If not, just stay away and let them work it out between themselves regarding the kids with a firearm. So fired one shot off with a shotgun in a direction away from everyone out in the woods there, and still on my grandparents' property with permission. And my mom comes running out, called law enforcement, said there were shots fired, acting like she's under hellfire or some shit, and like she's about to get blown off the map, and she wasn't. It was one shotgun round that was, I actually have photo evidence, and I still have the shell that was fired, to trace back time frame if needed. But have photo evidence of that. Shelby was there. She lies all the fucking time. Pardon my French, but she lies all the time. She falsifies information dealing with her. So they're trying to lie their way out of a situation that I've proven them wrong several times in legal instances. So they're just going to continue down that path. They're going to fuck their lives up. So I got out of that psych ward, got out of jail. All things that, were legal entrapments based upon law enforcement having to cross boundaries illegally. So at that point, they're no longer law enforcement to me. And if I can legally, if we can legally address law enforcement, regardless of the situation, if we can legally put law enforcement out of the way within the lines, that's our job as citizens, to keep them in line. Because if they're going to try to take advantage of us, with a badge and a nice suit and, a taser and a firearm and all that shit and a gun and, fast cars and all that. So, I back the blue, but when they cross boundaries and don't stay between the lines, I'm going to do what I can for the protection of myself, my daughter, and the ones I care for. So, legally is the way of defense in the way I handle things. I like to stay between the lines and stay within the law. So, but I respect until I can't. My daughter and I's overall health is at stake here. We spent some time together in July, and things started getting strange with Shelby again, and I was served falsified information from her attorney. Had to straighten that out. And then we had this temporary hold of some kind. Basically, they're trying, I think, just separate my daughter and I think a lot of it's based off their politics, their religious beliefs, and their racism. To be honest with you, it's a lot of Aryan skinhead, white trash, drug addicts. Some of them, got some money, and I guess it'd be considered mob. They call themselves mafia, mob, whatever the fuck they are. But long story short, it's I guess I don't fit their agenda, and they can go to fucking hell. But my goal is, the overall health for my daughter and I, and I've had enough of it as far as all their bullshit. So just trying to keep the peace and navigate this life as best as I can. It's definitely been a lot going on this past year between psych ward on falsified information, jail time on falsified information, dealing with law enforcement. It's basically mafia, dealing with mafia, mob, and my wife, who's a liar, my mom, who's a liar, proven. Wayne Shackley, who's a liar, white trash piece of shit. Dealing with him, that caused a lot of issues regarding my mom. So, but I'm gonna sum it up here. Just be careful who we trust out there, and try to keep our children as safe as possible. Oh yeah, and my aunt accused me of pedophilia. She can blow her fucking brains out. Obviously that would have to be her free will choice. I wouldn't encourage that, but she can if she wants to. But hope y'all have a good evening. Stay true, stay to the truth, and take care.